Hello, hello. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Sa ating pong mga kapatid dyan na Kapampangan, Mayap at Kapanapon, sa ating mga kapatid na Ilocano na Imbaga Malem, Masantos, Yangarem, sa ating mga kapatid na Pagansinensi, at marhay na hapon po sa ating mga kapatid na Bicolano. Sa mga taga-Visayas naman po, mga Bisaya, Ilonggo at Waray-Waray, maayong hapon, maupay nga kulop, maayong ugto. At ang ating mga kababayan sa Mindanao, Assalamualaikum, malingkat, makahapon at mapiyak kautuwa alongan. Buenas tardes sa ating mga kapatid dyan sa Zamboanga. Para po sa ating mga kapatid na Banyaga, alam mo, mayroon din mga nakikinig sa atin dyan. Good afternoon, annyeonghaseyo, konnichiwa, salamat siyang, siyang wuhaw. Welcome na naman dito sa ating Sustainable Development Goals or SDG Action Hour, no? Ito po yung ating lingguhang kamustahan at kwentuhan para sa maganda, maayos, mabuti at makabuluhang kinabukasan. Isang oras po ito ng hitik na talakayan na talaga naman po yung mga topic talagang napapanahon na talagang makakatulong po sa atin. At sa hapong ito, very exciting na naman po ang ating discussion at talakayan kasi ang atin pong panauhin ay talagang nagdalubhasa pagdating po sa usapin ng biotechnology crops, no? Ang title po ng ating discussion para sa hapon na ito, Farmer and Business Perspectives on Biotechnology Crops, Navigating Hope and Uncertainty while Traversing the Challenges of Philippine Agriculture. Ayan, nako, talaga pong napapanahon nito. Nako, alam no, talagang kailangan nating magkaroon ng maraming kaalaman, lalong-lalo na sa food security, ano? Ang atin pong speaker ay nagtapos ng kanyang Bachelor of Arts in Bible and Theology at the PBS College of Bible in Valenzuela, Metro Manila. At noon pong year 2001, tinatag niya ang katuwang Resource Center Inc., a microfinance NGO aimed towards providing financial assistance for enterprising people na walang kapital o kaya yung wala namang mga savings facility. Nag-shift siya ng career noong 2010 to help improve the agricultural practices of fellow Filipino farmers. He used to believe na ang organic farming daw is the best way to do farming until he learned more about the truth ng ang agricultural technology and biotechnology ay talagang mas makakatulong pa sa ating agricultural ah, ah, na pamumuhay. At isa sa mga ginawa niya ay ang pagpapakilala ng better corn farming sa Camotes Island in Cebu, kung saan siya po ay nakabase ngayon. Ano, alam nyo yung yung talagang corn ay talagang malaking bahagi niyan sa ating food security eh. Kasi natatandaan ko na nung bata ako, nung nagtaghirap po tayo sa bigas, ang kamote po ang napakalaking tulong yan sa atin. So sa paggamit po ng genetically modified organisms o GMO hybrid corns, napataas niya ang yield average production from average of 600 kilograms per hectare to 8,400 kilograms per hectare. Wow, ang laki nun, ano? At dahil sa nakilala nga po siya sa larangan ng corn farming, he was awarded as the most outstanding corn farmer of Cebu Province noon pong taong 2016 at most outstanding corn farmer of Region 7 noong 2017. Ang atin pong speaker ay member din ng iba't ibang organization tulad ng Global Farmers Network, Alliance for Science, at sa kasalukuyan ay siya ang secretary ng Board of Directors ng Philippine Maize Foundation, Federation, I'm sorry. So na-excite na po ako eh. Alam nyo, pagdating po sa usapin ng pagkain, talagang kailangan lahat tayo excited kasi ngayon, bukas at magpakailanman, hindi tayo mabubuhay kung wala yang pagkain. Kaya po, ating i-welcome sa hapong ito ang ating panauhin na talagang magbibigay sa atin ng mga impormasyon na makakatulong sa ating agriculture. Please welcome Mr. Adriel Dave, or we can call him Ad, Mr. Dave Alvarez, to talk about ang kanyang special topic on biotechnology crops. Magandang hapon, Mr. Ad Alvarez. Good
Magandang
afternoon,
hapon
sir.
po.
Yes,
Magandang
sir.
hapon po.
So kami po ay willing talagang makikinig sa iyong discussion for this afternoon. Go ahead, sir. You can start na po.
Thank you po for having me on this episode. Thank you for the organizers and coordinators. Thank you, Dr. Lourdes Cruz, for reaching out and inviting me to speak in this forum. Dr. Lourdes and I have two things in common. One, we were both recipients of the Filipino Faces of Biotechnology Award by the Department of Agriculture last December 2023. She was awarded as a scientist, and I was awarded as a farmer. And number two, we both have our roots from Cavite, the land of heroes and Philippine Revolution. So thank you everyone for the interest to attend this live online meeting. And thank you for those who got interested and are watching the recorded version of this meeting. And now, probably that is in the past. Good afternoon, everyone. I am a Filipino farmer. I am a businessman. And I am a learner. But today, I am a person just like you, wanting a better world, a better agriculture for the Philippines. And my talk today is an attempt to bridge two perspectives on the same field, the biotechnology crops. On one side, the weathered hands of the farmer tilling the soil and facing the uncertainties of nature, barely keeping its heads above water. And on the other hand, the sharp minds of the business world seeking efficiency, formulating strategies, and maximizing profit. My aim is not to offer easy answers, but to make us uncomfortable, to initiate a dialogue, a cross-pollination of these viewpoints as we navigate the future of agriculture with biotechnology and the prospect of business. A future of agriculture towards sustainable earth, a future earth. Food is fundamental. Food is everybody's concern. It should be your concern. But why do we seem to struggle in having enough? Being economically viable and disjointed in many levels. Why is this space occupied by dramas, memes, and unguarded information diarrhea? So let me begin with a farmer's story. My story. For me, as a farmer, biotechnology offers a glimmer of hope. My goal as a farmer is to produce crops to benefit people around me. It may be for food, for fuel, for clothing, for industry materials, and more. But as a farmer, I need to be able to cover my cost of production. I need to be efficient. I need to survive. I need to feed my family. Imagine fields of teeming with pest-resistant corn, harvests untouched by blight, and crops resilient to droughts and once stole our livelihoods. It's the promise of increased yields, and I have experienced it with my own eyes. In my community, traditional farmers were harvesting 600 kilograms of corn per hectare. After our farm adopted a biotechnology corn, we yielded 8,400 kilograms per hectare. Let that sink in. Because of this, I was awarded the most outstanding corn farmer of Cebu and Central Visayas. Yes, I was outstanding. That is what farmers do. We are outstanding in our fields most of the time. During the pandemic, unknown to many non-farmers, there was a vicious pest ravaging our country, the arrival of the fall armyworm in the Philippines. Not native to the Philippines. It decimated fields upon fields of corn in my island and around the country and still has the threat around the world. My field survived, but 95% of all the other fields around me in my island did not. I posted this on social media X, or formerly branded as Twitter, and it got several hits because of the pictures and videos of what happens on the ground are real and powerful. Nothing beats a true story. My story. Technology was my friend. Biotechnology is about putting more food on the table for our families and our communities. It's about reducing the back-breaking labor of weeding, the anxiety of watching insects devour our hopes, and the added financial burden of chemical crop protection. It is about efficiency, not only for me as a farmer, it is also about you. Because we want to produce food, fuel, and fiber for your needs. It's the dream of sustainable future where we can nurture the land and still reap its bounty. But hope has its wrinkles. My friends, we all worry about the unknown, the long-term effect of altering nature's tapestry. We've seen promises of broken before repeatedly. Technology that enriches corporations while leaving farmers with empty pockets. With battered mental health, nobody cares. Does it really help the poor? We hear whispers of monopolies and dependence on expensive seeds and chemical cocktails. The question lingers, will these fruits nourish our children or poison them? The misinformation game is a nasty place to be in. We should always be on guard. We should talk to those who are on the ground, farmers themselves, like what we are doing now. Listening to the farmer's perspective, we should investigate our source. The internet is great, but it's also the worst place to get garbage information. We should learn to navigate the vast ocean of misinformation. I have spoken to many of my farming friends around the world in my network. They are grateful to have grown seeds of biotechnology for many decades. In Canada, canola has been used for 30 years. In Argentina, Uruguay, USA, farmers are able to gain so much advantage in this technology. For me as a Filipino farmer, great technology is handy. Biotechnology is a wonderful tool. It is another tool in our toolbox. You know, farming is hard enough. Biotechnology is a great tool to have. But we cannot keep designing something without involving the farmers. We need to talk and keep communicating all the time. That is the logical way. Technology alone, without consulting the user, is nerdy and detached. Farmer voices matter. Now, let us talk about the business side. From the business perspective, biotechnology implies better risk management, an engine for innovation and growth. It should be a tool for fair, reasonable, and consensus profit. Let me repeat that. It should be a tool for fair, reasonable, and consensus profit. It is about feeding the world's fast-growing population, optimizing land and resource use, and minimizing waste. It's about developing crops with enhanced nutritional content, more efficient crops, improving the use of chemical inputs, and building resilient supply chains. It's about creating crops relevant to the market demand, evolving in harmony to an evolving job ecology, and the driving economy developing in global relevance. The business world is a nasty place to be into. Depending on one's business philosophy, profits are either social good or can become a product that feeds man's greed for more for himself. Real business should be equitable for all. This does not mean tolerating the lazy, nor are we cuddling the parasitic dependence of certain groups. When I started my farming with a mission, we had a limited perspective. But over the years, my worldview has grown. One can only blame himself if he does not grow in learning what is around him. As a farmer businessman, I started with 1 hectare corn, producing for testing and learning. After 2 years of seeing the opportunity, we expanded and reached 40 hectares of corn production. We were expecting a comfortable profit, but then market forces shifted due to some twisted, foolish decision of our political planners in our country, influenced by other countries who intend to use us for their own gain. from 16 pesos to 10 pesos price drop of corn per kilo pushed my farm operation flat on the ground. And we do not have an ag-friendly ecosystem in the Philippines, even if we have the climate that can allow us to plant all year round. But while I was operating this enterprise, my goal was to share it with the community who will be interested to replicate what I was doing. That is what my business was about. Profit with social return on investment. Unlike traditional business, farming should be approached as a system of its own. The financial and investing sector should not be a matter of being fair weather friends. We should not regard agriculture as optional. Business in agriculture must be intentional and should be everybody's concern. All of us need food. Normally, we all eat 3 times a day, although some would eat more. Businesses too have moral responsibility. We must be transparent, ensuring public safety and environmental sustainability. I believe all forms of business must partner with farmers one way or another and constantly converse with those on the ground. The challenge for business people is to constantly do a self-evaluation. We must guard ourselves from being pulled into the black hole of greed and exploitation. There is a better way to do business. I believe in humanity. I still do, because business people can make a difference. Like most of us, business people are our friends, our family, our parents, our loved ones, our employers. They keep us fed, clothed, moving, alive and secure. Business people keeps government standing. We should learn to stop demonizing wealth and associating them with evil intention. Wealth is power. It should be used with great responsibility. Let me repeat that. Wealth is power. It should be used with great responsibility. We must invest in research, not just for short-term profits, but for building future where technology serves our farmers, not the other way around. There is a need for radical shifting of mindset. We only have one earth, and we are only one human race. Borders are just human inventions. If you are religious or generous, one of the fundamental contributions you can make is to include your mindset that better agriculture in the Philippines is all our concern. It is not just the farmers. The government should not function like a non-profit. The government's role is to govern, to create a better space for business and agriculture to thrive. A good example of this is what farmer friends from Canada said. In Canada, one of the roles of the government is to open up new markets so that farmers can sell what they grow because they don't have enough people to eat it. That is the opposite for our country, like the Philippines. Our government must build relationship with export nations like Canada so that we import the food that they grow that we cannot grow here and learn from their farmers. Accepting the technology that they use in order to feed our people. Here is the common mistake we make is to think that we can produce all we need. In the extreme, we import without thinking those things we can actually produce locally. Let me repeat that. The common mistake we make is to think we can produce all we need. And in the other extreme, we import without thinking those things we can actually produce locally. Both are wrong. Now, dole out does not work in the long run. For every tractor, seeds, and bags of fertilizer that the government has given as subsidy, It only brings us away from the real economic and agricultural revolution. Incentive systems work much better than subsidy in many economies. Let me repeat that. Incentive systems work much better than subsidy in many economies. Incentives creates the entrepreneurial spirit among farmers. Government must effectively work this out in its system. Life depends on it. We should build and not destroy, even if unintentional. Now, let me connect agriculture and business. The path forward demands collaboration, not confrontation. Dialogue, conversations. Farmers need a seat on the table. Their voices heard in research and development. Their needs shaping the direction of innovation. Business must listen, learn and adopt, ensuring technology that empowers, not burdens, the agricultural community. Government must play their role, fostering responsible development, creating regulations that protect both the environment and the farmer's livelihood, and avoiding the fake benevolence that does not work. In closing, biotechnology crops are not magic bullet. It is not snake oil either. Biotechnology is a gift. Like any tool, it is neutral. It's a powerful tool, holding both immense potential and irrelevance if not utilized properly. Navigating this future requires navigating ourselves, bridging the gap between hope and uncertainty, between profit and purpose. Together, farmers and businessmen, hand in hand, can make biotechnology a force for good, feeding the world and nurturing the earth for generations to come. In the meantime, this is our time. 100 years from now, how will our children talk about us? They will see this video and say, did we listen? Did we listen hard and fast enough? As Norman Borlaug said, everything else can wait, but not agriculture. We should maximize our time and technology to feed everybody in the future Earth. Thank you. I hope my thought-provoking insights are helpful to you.